Hello, YouTube land. It's been a hot minute. I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life that made me stomp on the pause button. Maybe or maybe not. We will touch on that later. For once, I'm actually well rested during the day, which is fucking crazy compared to yeah. So we'll get into it later. But yeah. So today what I wanted to talk to you about was this knife right here in front of us. And what I'm going to tell you isn't going to be the best news. I had high hopes for this knife because I've owned a lot of Coast flashlights. And I fucking love Coast flashlights because they're cheap as shit and you can beat the shit out of them and they fucking work. Um, and yeah, just the value of what you get in a Coast flashlight for how much you pay, I just love. I absolutely destroy. I'm an asshole to mine, and they're fucking fine. It's great. So I saw this Coast knife, and I looked it over at work. Well, at least a display model. Um, and I was like, how thick the steel on the lock bar side is, especially for liner lock. I was like, that's badass. That's fucking hardcore. I was like, that stop pin is pretty beefy. You got a really thick tang here on the blade. I was like, decent jimping. You get this G10 texture, like this pretty aggressive golf ball, as they call it, G10 scale. On the other side with the steel liner. So this thing's heavy as shit. Still don't have a fucking scale, so I can't tell you how heavy it is, but it's still heavy as shit. But I liked it because it felt to the solidity of the knife. It just feels like a fucking tank. So if you're interested, there's the model number there, the fx352, 352. We got a titanium coated blade, titanium nitride, sorry. Coated blade, pocket clip, steel frame. It's nice. It shows wear. Not too bad because it's got kind of that gunmetal look to it. So mine around the edges is a little beat up, but the wear isn't too bad. The tie-dye coating on the blade is weird too because it wears, but I feel like if I apply some body heat to it over where the wear is, it magically disappears. I'm like, that's insane. Aside from that little scratch right there. Right there. So I carried this thing for about 2 or 3 weeks thinking it was going to be a beast of a fucking knife. And thinking it was going to be a hardcore shit because this isn't relatively small. I mean, it kind of is. It just looks beefy, like how thick the blade stock is, how thick the thing is. Let's see if I can learn my fucking shit real quick. We got almost 8 inches overall, just shy, like a couple thousandths of an inch there, head to toe. The actual cutting is 3 3/4 or 3 1/4. Sorry. And yeah, so 3 1/4 here. I don't know how much like the actual thing is because I don't have fucking soft. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, almost 8 inches overall, just a couple thousandths of an inch shy. So again, it's a pretty beefy fucking knife. The widest point on the blade is about 1.25 inches thick, which probably makes the grip about 1 inch thick. Lengthwise, oh no, oh yeah, there's this fucker here. Shit, I need to get some new tools. And then if we look here, the girth of the knife is about 3/4 of an inch. Sorry about the rusty tools. Shit's fucked. Yeah, and so that's the dimensions of the kniffy. And like I said, this thing is beastly. I thought it was gonna be like a tank. I thought it was gonna be like one of the most hardcore knives ever. I'm not sure the blade steel on here, but I guess I could have went to the website and fucking checked. But I didn't think that far ahead because, as some of you probably know, my shit's unscripted. I just come out here and start talking out of my ass. I carry a knife for a couple weeks. Well, that's what I'm gonna do now because I switched positions at my job in retail from sporting goods lead clerk to an overnight stalker now. And so I get to actually test my blades and actually go in and cut tons of fucking cardboard and use it as a tool, and how you're not supposed to use a knife and all that good shit. So yeah, I was like, yay, I can actually use my stuff and come on here and give you guys a little more view. If you use a knife for a work knife, a little more than an EDC knife, that's gonna be a little more who I'm talking towards. So I'm gonna use this. My review is going to be based off of a little more than EDC use. It's gonna be used more as a utility blade and a little outside of a knife's job. And that's what I'm going to come, and that's what I'm going to bring, and that's what I'm going to tell you guys, is if you're looking for a hardcore knife to use in a warehouse style setting, that's what I'm going to tell you. But this knife, if you're using it for EDC purposes, it'll probably be fucking amazing. Last you your whole life, no problems, no issues, all good. And I'm pretty sure the issues I'm having with this knife, I'm pretty sure it's still under warranty. I could probably send it to Coast and they'll fix it up and yada yada yada, but I don't care to look into it. So I'm just gonna come in. Ew. But yeah, I'm just gonna come to you guys and give you my 2 cents and bitch about this knife for I don't know how fucking long. We're already 8 minutes in. So again, if you're new to this page, I'm gonna ramble out. You're gonna sit through some bullshit and some cursing. So yeah, it's life. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure what the steel is. If I had to guess, I'd say like a 7CR or like a 440A. It's a little on the softer side. I find myself sharpening this knife a lot. So a good thing it has a lot of fucking tang, because I'm like sharpening this a lot. And again, probably wouldn't be an issue, but I hand sharpen. I have one of those tri-stone systems from Lansky that I love. It's nice to actually go through and sharpen a knife by hand. But anyway, yeah, so the knife is a little on the softer side. With the full flat grind, you would expect this to be an amazing slicer, but again, to how thick it comes to on the blade stock, fucking horrendous. Unless you're really using this much of the blade, where it gets pretty petite, because it does come to a pretty fine tip, then it'll be fine. It'll be an amazing knife. But if you're using the whole blade, if you're getting like a little up here, like if you're cutting into things and then trying to slice, the thickness of this backside doesn't give it the most smoothest cutting. Yeah, and my bald patches here are from checking my knife sharpness. But anyway, sorry about that. Just random bullshit again. And alright, so yeah, so we talked about the blade. The G10 is amazing. I usually work in work gloves. It's really aggressive. It sticks to the gloves really good. The ergonomics aren't bad. I don't have the biggest hands. I kind of have chubby hands, so it fits in my hands really well. It like really locks in really good. The jimping on it is a little on the soft side, but it works. It actually does grip. again, with how much steel is on this blade, it's like, it isn't terribly heavy, but it's heavy enough to where you fucking notice it. And again, for how hardcore I thought it was, I thought it would have been a good trade-off. I was like, all right, this thing's beastly, built like a fucking tank. The weight's gonna be a non-issue. But one of the biggest issues I noticed after about 2 weeks is, I don't know if you could hear that, but we got some front to back blade play. And what had happened there is, from opening and closing, I don't know if you'll be able to see. I don't have a flashlight on me, which is fucking retarded because I usually do. But if you see right there behind the blade, this thing actually deformed the stop pin, which I'm pretty sure with this screw here I'd be able to rotate it if everything wasn't red fucking Loctited together. Loctited together. And just, this knife was a nightmare. I didn't get it fully apart. I got almost stripped it, but I got this guy loose, and the red Loctite was just fucking terrible. As you see, I was able, well, as this one I actually got off no issues. This one here ate itself up. It's like a perfect fucking circle in there now. Because I'm assuming that one was red Loctited too. So, you know what? I was just like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not going to try and work and fix on this knife. Because I was like, if I could unscrew this, take it apart, rotate it, tighten it back down, back to amazing. Fucking no. And, yeah, because everything's glued fucking shut and it's fucking horrible. And how I found that out was, I was just like, oh, okay, there's some wiggle side to side. I'm just going to tighten down the pivot a little bit. And nope. It didn't fucking move. So that's when I first found out. I was like, it's going to be a bunch of fucking balls to get this thing apart. So after stripping out this screw and not being able to get it apart, I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. I could probably get the clip off and take off the lock bar side, but again, fuck that shit, I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, so again, I didn't have enough of rock or blade play for it to be an issue, for it to slip and lock, because if you fucking look, this thing's almost at 100%. And again, what's worse is you can manually push this over even more and it would actually lock the blade. Because what had happened was, is I'm assuming I over torqued the lock bar getting it closed. Because when I first got this lock bar, it was super fucking stiff. Could barely get the knife closed one-handed. But now that it's broken in, it doesn't go all the way over. So if you listen, I don't know if it'll actually, it resonates a little bit, kind of twangs. And that's because it's not scooting all the way over, not engaging the blade, and it's also helping with the blade play. So it's not moving all the way over, and I'm assuming from hypertension of pushing it that way. Because this has no... See, you hear that? It twangs. Anyway, this has no over torsion stop. A hyper extension stop on it. You can move this over all you want, which I don't fucking recommend. But yeah, no, that's the one thing, is over time, using the frame lock, it will come loose and start bending that way. So again, not awesome. And again, that'd probably be an easy fix if I could get the knife fucking apart and could bend it that way a little bit more. Like I said, I could probably call Coast and be like, hey, my knife is having issues, I stripped out a screw. They'll probably like, no fucking problem, sending on in. But I don't want to go through that bullshit either, because in my personal opinion, anytime I have to deal with customer service, I'm just a blind fucking headache, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Not saying that Coast is bad, but that's just my general with any customer services. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. So again, if you're looking for an EDC knife, everyday carry, just general use, opening packages, cutting sandwiches, lunch knife, whatever, this will probably be an amazing knife. It'll probably be more than you'll ever fucking need. And that's why I bought this knife, was I thought it was going to be more than anything I would ever fucking need. Turns out wasn't the case. Turns out I was a little too hard on this knife and it had some issues. I'll probably... Holy shit, phone tried to run away. I'll probably give this guy a little more carry to see if there's actually anything functionally... Shit. Alright, that's another thing I'm going to notice too, is we're going to go old school. We're going to go back to non-editing, just talking to you guys. So, you know what? We're going to leave the fucking phone falling in the video. Good times. But yeah, but as I was saying, if you're looking for an EDC everyday carry knife, this will probably be amazing. Probably even like camping duty if you're just like need something to cut a stick for marshmallows. Feathering stick, this will still probably do the trick. I wouldn't do anything further than that out in the backwoods. I mean, probably a good skinner, but just be aware keeping this guy clean. Especially with that belly. Probably be an amazing skinner, but the thing with that is again, you probably have to sharpen it a good couple times if you're getting the animal over like 200 pounds. But yeah, so that's my comprehensive look at the fx352. I was thinking about buying this one again in kind of like a tan grip. That was the one I originally wanted, but we were sold out at the time. And I thought this was going to be a hardcore, hard beater knife, and doesn't turn out to be the case. Oh, and the one thing I also did to notice was my blade centering is off now on this Kniffy. Come on, phone. The blade centering is leaning more towards the lock side, and I'm assuming what happened there is sometimes if I want to see what's in a box without opening it, if I know I have the room, I will stab into the box and twist to make a little peephole. Or if I don't want to cut along the whole side of the box, if it's a massive box and I'm just trying to be fast, again, I'll stab in the tape between the flaps of the cardboard, twist to break the tape, rip the box open. Either that, or if I'm cutting the box, so end across, and I miss the flaps of the cardboard, I will stab in and use this as a pry bar, which I thought would be an okay move since it's fucking cardboard. Again, not the fucking case. So the edge and the pivot has been not the biggest fan of cardboard. So again, too thick for cardboard, can't pry the cardboard open, and I'm gonna sharpen this thing like a motherfucker, especially if you're using any more than just daily use. And again, that was my look at the Coast fx352. I mean, this thing is a gorgeous knife, and I'll keep it around, and I'll probably use it as an EDC rather than a work knife. But the thing with that is it's kind of a scary, brutish knife. It's fucking huge. It's fucking thick. If you flick it open, especially with that twang, it's a little intimidating. So I'd be careful about carrying this thing in public for sheeple. People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's got a fucking knife," because you're out there. I fucking know it. But anyway, so again, this was my look at the Case FX. Was it 352? 352. All right, you guys have a good rest of the weekend. I think it's Sunday today. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good opening to your week. Get out, get some experiences, enjoy fucking life. Get out into the woods, get out into your city, experience some new things, and get some shit done. Alright, guys, and this is Davis signing out.